Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
The American Council on Education works to promote and support higher education in our state and our country. The Council's president, University of North Carolina President Emerita Molly Corbett Broad, stopped by our studios to discuss the Council's work and mission with Shannon Vickery.
President Molly Broad, welcome back to North Carolina Now.
Thank you, Shannon.
You are now president of the American Council on Education. Update us on the work that you are doing with this organization.
The American Council on Education represents all colleges and universities across America and addresses many of the policy issues facing higher education at the national level. ACE, as it's called, is the voice of American higher education to the Congress and to the administration and internationally. And so we are right in the middle of some very important policy issues as the nation struggles to restore economic prosperity and understands more deeply today how inextricably that is linked to raising educational attainment. We worry about the research agenda. We worry about how are we doing internationally, and is American higher education continuing to be the world's leader in higher education? We worry a lot about financial condition of colleges and universities. It has been a very challenging time for American higher education, and for public institutions, that is likely to continue at least for the next year or so as the states struggle with their budgets.
What do you see then as the top challenges facing higher education institutions across the nation as we start 2011?
The nation needs American higher education more than ever before. The jobs of the future require more education. In fact, the labor economists that have done serious studies about this decade have concluded that 2/3 of the new jobs will require a post-secondary education credential, a 2-year or a 4-year degree. 2/3 of all the new jobs. We are not providing the level of educational attainment in our country that will meet that challenge. The research activity of this country is now seeing competition around the world that is much greater than we have ever seen before. And it is that basic research done largely by universities that provides the innovation and the creativity that has been such a critical spur to our economy. We worry about families who are suffering personally and who cannot afford the cost of college tuition, and yet know it is imperative for their children or for their spouses. And so the need for financial aid continues to be a very important priority, as does the effort to help colleges and universities achieve greater productivity and efficiency in how higher education is delivered.
As we get ready to start a new session of Congress and we see the political power shift in Washington, how do you think that's going to impact some of the issues that you've just mentioned?
I think it's way too early to understand what the new House of Representatives will be like. From the North Carolina-centric perspective, we observe that Virginia Foxx, our representative, will be chair of the House Education and Workforce Committee. And so we have someone that we know well, that we can work with. But the budget issues and the support of Pell Grants, the most important need-based financial aid program, is very much an issue of concern. Before the Congress left for the Christmas holiday break, they extended the budget, something called a continuing resolution, through the 4th of March. But that will mean that the new Congress under Republican leadership will have the responsibility of framing and acting upon the budget for the rest of the year through the end of September. So it is going to be a very busy time for all of us at the American Council on Education in these early months as the new Congress gets underway.
You've talked about some of the challenges facing higher education. How about the opportunities that are out there for higher education institutions?
With every challenge, there are opportunities to do things you might not have been able to do when times were good. Obviously, my personal interest in the University of North Carolina is front and center always in my mind. And this is a great opportunity for this great university to really become stronger and better in the face of challenges in other parts of the country. When we think about the universities in California or in Michigan, where their states are really financially on their backs, and as a result, those universities are suffering. This presents opportunities for other universities to catapult into even stronger leadership positions. And so my hope is that the University of North Carolina will leverage this kind of opportunity. But most colleges and universities are struggling to become more efficient, to become more productive, to utilize effectively information technology in the context of teaching and learning in ways that maximize the benefit of what we call blended learning, the mixture of face-to-face interaction with a faculty member supplemented by artificial intelligence or other means of information technology. And we look to research in increasingly important ways. The best research today, Shannon, is being conducted by scholars and principal investigators who work collaboratively across nations and across disciplines and produce the kind of research results that truly can change the world. So it is an exciting time to be in American higher education.
Another project that ACE is working on deals with the GED, and you have a pilot program in New York City to look at reworking the GED. Tell us about that program and why it's important.
ACE, because it was created in ways that were linked to the national defense right after World War I. At the end of World War II, when the GIs were returning home, the ones that had dropped out of high school to volunteer for the draft couldn't take advantage of the GI Bill. And so Congress asked the American Council on Education to develop an alternative credential. And so for the past 60 years, ACE has operated the GED. We are launching a major effort to transform the GED into a college and career-ready examination, and to add accelerated learning strategies to help people successfully prepare to take the GED. This is a focus on adults, and I think of North Carolinians who played by all of the rules. They were recruited out of high school to work in textile or apparel manufacturing or in furniture manufacturing. They had great jobs. They moved into the middle class. They played by all the rules. And now the global economy is taking away some of those jobs. And those North Carolinians are finding it hard to replicate their wages because they have never graduated from high school. So our focus is to prepare them to do college-level work in new and exciting ways. It's a wonderfully important project that we have, and I am very hopeful that we can dramatically expand access to the GED and success in moving those individuals on to higher education.
Finally, if our viewers want to know more about the work of ACE or follow some of the issues that you have mentioned, what do they need to do?
Well, they need to go to our website, ACENet, ACENet, and All of our publications and monographs, activities are posted on that website. It's a rich source of information on higher education.
President Broad, as always, thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
You're most welcome.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.